I feel like it's pretty hard to care about the Grammys, particularly because they get the decisions wrong every year. But this year they had a pretty clear winner for the rap category as a whole, and I think they got it right. A legend who's been in the game since before I was born mopped up the whole genre. That rapper is Michael Render, aka Killer Mike. Surprisingly, this was met with like backlash. A pretty baffling response, in my opinion. A baffling response from people who are considered like hip hop heads or have like hip hop Instagram accounts, even like Kai Cenat.
And the Grammy goes to Killer Mike.
Okay, hold on. Wait, hold on. Everybody calm the down. I don't know who this is, okay? Who decided this motherfucker? Who the decided this motherfucker? Carlos Utopia! Metro Boomin! Yo, let me tell you something, bro. I'm not jacking this, you are.
I call this baffling because Killer Mike is respected by everyone in hip hop, rappers and fans alike. People who are fans of rap and hip hop should know Killer Mike, regardless of if they listen to him consistently or not. From his debut on Outkast 2000's tape Stankonia, to his work with the best white rapper of all time, L.P., with Run the Jewels, all the way to his Grammy-winning album Michael, Killer Mike has placed himself in an esteemed place in hip-hop, and he deserves his flowers. What's up? I'm Eric, by the way, or Ty, whichever one you want to call me. You should click subscribe, just because you want to. Killer Mike has gone through evolutions of his music, which I'm gonna talk about a little bit today. As I said, he started his career giving like top tier feature work to Outkast and Slim Calhoun. He opens up with Snappin' and Trappin' with sweet flow and cutting lyrics, really setting the tone for the future of his work. Monster is like his take on Southern Bounce. He takes it to a different level with his aggressive flow and lyrics. He really played into the killer moniker. And it also shows a bit of what comes later in his career with like genre blending, as a lot of his lyrics and vocal blends really draw shades of like horrorcore at the time. And this is in the early 2000s. Bro was really talking that mess. Like whatever he had on his mind, he was spitting. Like he said, on the down low like R. Kelly and youngsters, but only 18 cause baby I'm no perv. Like, bro was saying whatever he was thinking. This was 2003 and he was telling it how it is, talking about how R. Kelly is a freak fuck. Oh, fast forward the early discography stuff. I do recommend diving into like his full evolution and everything. But he was for sure hitting charts at certain times in those early 2000s. I think most notably is Never Scared by Bone Crusher with T.I. I think that's my first time hearing him as like a little kid in Madden '04. And that track has unmatched energy. I definitely would put that on. I think 2012 is instrumental though because of R.A.P. music, which is completely produced by his future partner in bars, L.P. This is where Killer Mike really starts hitting his stride and making his mark. And this is because L.P.'s unique, abstract, and ambitious production really brings out the best in Killer Mike. Killer Mike also starts doing more open lyricism, changing subjects, and going into any subject. In particular, the conscientious socio-political talk, which is honestly him at his best. Like Reagan off the track is the perfect example. This is one of the songs that blew him up because of his direct analysis with the problems in America, particularly with Reaganomics and the war on drugs. For example, the profiting industry of prison and how technically slavery isn't really illegal, it's just turned into the prison system. And if you think I'm bullshitting, then read the 13th Amendment. That's that direct quote. Direct quote from Reagan. R.A.P. music is where L.P. and Killer Mike originally Link. They ended up like touring together and it worked really well for them, so they made a duo, Run the Jewels. And Killer Mike and LP are just a match made in heaven. This is shown very clearly in Run the Jewels 1, their first project together. The title track is just fire, and it's really a tone setter for their future as a duo. Sea Legs is another track I appreciate a lot. A lot of it is because of LP, where his flow is just as sweet as honey and his word bending just works on the snappy production. The Jewels 2 comes a couple years later, and they just continued to build their legacy. Lie, Cheat, and Steal is one of my favorite tracks, if not my favorite track by them. But RTJ 2 is very notable for me because they pulled off one of like my favorite marketing schemes ever in hip-hop. That is Meow the Jewels. Take a couple seconds and just guess what Meow the Jewels is. The entire album's instrumentals and sounds were reworked with cat noises, like different types of meows. The most surprising thing is that these work, like on the ears. It sounds good. Like the album is pretty good. They changed the song titles to things like All Meow Life, Paw Do Respect, and Creown. It's like, bro, that's funny. That's just cute. But I think Run the Jewels has only gotten better with time. Their newest project together, RTJ4, 2020, fire. One of the best hip-hop projects of all time. The fact it wasn't even nominated for a Grammy is absurd. Particularly given the fact that the best rap album of the year that year wasn't really a rap album. Igor is not a rap album. I'm a huge Tyler the Creator fan. I grew up on Tyler the Creator. Igor is like the one album of his that's like definitely not a rap album. There's a little rapping, but it's not mostly rapping, not even close. Back to RTJ4 though. Walking in the Snow is one of my favorite productions of all time. Like that beat, and I think it's a sample flip. I'm not sure what the sample is, but it's crazy. Ooh La La, its bars go verse for verse with any song you want to pick, basically, in history. The Ground Below is Killer Mike at his best. He's in such a clean pocket and just presenting some of my favorite bars of his. He said, Michael remained murderous, but still virtuous. Wait to kill the petty and foul at church services. Not a holy man, but I'm moral in my perverseness. So I support sex workers unionizing their services. Like, he's cooking. Yankee and the Brave has them talking. The whole project is just them at their best. Listen to Run the Jewels 4, if nothing else. Killer Mike luckily got his flowers eventually, despite, getting snubbed by a non-rap album. Those flowers came in 2024 Grammys, where he mopped up 3 of 4 available trophies for the category. 2 of those were for a song that is honestly built for the Grammys. A modern classic by the name of Scientists and Engineers. It blends the old with the new, with like a feature from Future and an unexpected Andre 3000 verse. But overall, the album, Michael, which he won a Grammy for, is a masterclass. It runs the gamut of themes like analyzing black exploitation by white people, religion, drug abuse, loss of a parent, all under clean and cohesive instrumentals that really fit with the theme of the album, that work in a new and productive way with Killer Mike's vocals. But this dude got escorted out of the Grammys after winning 3 trophies by police for a misdemeanor battery that was completely different investigation from anything that had to do with the Grammys. The fact that it happened in such a performative way at the Grammys is absurd. It would have never happened to a white dude, or even like anyone who didn't talk about, police brutality, it's so silly that they had to do that. It's gross, honestly. I truthfully appreciate Killer Mike's art. His art reflects a lot of his politics. In the album Michael, it showcases the good and the bad of his politics. Killer Mike is not infallible. He is confusing and frustrating, particularly outside of his music. And if you're listening to his full discography, word for word, yeah, he's a black first centrist. It's frustrating to say this out loud because in his music, he feels way more radical and more anti establishment than he actually is outside of his music. Unfortunately, Killer Mike's Michael is equivalent to like Jay-Z's 444 in the sense that it's like dad rap where he touts about like the miracles of black capitalism. Well, more of the myth of black capitalism. I say it's a myth because it's rooted in an idea that if everyone gets their money up, then white privilege won't affect the black population. But that's not real. Capitalism doesn't allow for everyone to make money. It's specifically designed to keep poor people poor. I promise LLC will not bring liberation. The good black is not real. Like this is fakeness. I would love to go deeper on this, but it would have to be another video. I can't make this a 40-minute video. Killer Mike goes from kill your masters and supporting Bernie Sanders to being an NRA ambassador and just ignoring the cop city built in his home city of Atlanta. Killer Mike is a complicated and interesting figure, but Killer Mike is important for hip-hop. He's an important and confusing figure in hip-hop and politics. He is worthy of every and any hip-hop fan's respect and attention. Killer Mike, one of my favorite rappers of all time. I feel like he should be in most people's, top rappers lists. But it blew my mind to see how many hip-hop accounts just, didn't know who he was. These are people who pride themselves off of their knowledge of the genre, and he is an instrumental figure in the genre. But these same people don't know who Black Thought is or listen to The Roots. It's like, yeah, they don't. Their takes on hip-hop should be taken with a grain of salt. So I encourage you to dive into his discography, listen to the content of his words, because they are valuable, in my opinion. And I hope they are in yours. But I appreciate you so much for watching. Leave a comment if you got something to say. Subscribe. Please subscribe. If you wanna. If you like hearing me talk, I guess. I don't really care that much about a like. Likes don't really matter for YouTube, so I don't fucking care. The best place to see more of my face is Instagram. I keep updated on all the stuff I'm working on. I also started a blog where I wrote a little write-up on Kanye West and his new album, as well as Ilia Topuria, the new featherweight champion of the UFC. Gonna be writing stuff on there at least once a week. Just stuff I can expand into a YouTube video, and I still want to write. Writing is my love and my passion. And that website is tyesthoughts.com. There's also, I'll put link in description to my Instagram and the blog and whatnot. But I appreciate you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.